And that was Kent Gooding with Devil and the Tailors on Paris Live Open Mic, our Texas Silver Star Whiskey Spotlight artist. We have a couple of guys in the studio with us in place of Kent that have shared a musical history with him and have been friends for how many years have you guys been friends?
Man, probably well over 10 for me.
So right here speaking, we got Russell Wilson and Jason Dyess.
Yeah, I met Kent, after Russell did, probably 6-7 years ago now, that I met Kent when Post Oak started. We all got together.
So Post Oak Savannah, that's the name of the band. Now, how long was Post Oak Savannah together?
Probably ran about, I don't know, I guess it was about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I'd been playing around town doing some open mics and stuff with Kent, and he introduced us to some other folks, and before we knew it, we had a little band, a little ensemble, and we just started writing music and jamming together.
We've been playing that song 16 Miles for a while on Paris Live Open Mic. Actually picked up the CD last year at the benefit concert, and we absolutely loved it. We're celebrating Kent's life in music. It's been a year now since his passing, and we've all missed him tremendously, and these two guys especially that are in the studio, and we appreciate y'all coming in. So, yeah, you guys tell us a little bit more about the project, about the upcoming CD, and how it came about and how it came to be.
Well, for the most part, it was completed by Kent, and he was lacking one song before the completion of the CD, and so we kind of, as friends and family, felt like we had to complete it for him, and so we mixed the final song, and then just went ahead and did the artwork and the photography and everything else that goes along with a project of that size, and it's been interesting. We've done it out of our love and respect for Kent.
So you guys alone, who all pitched in on the project?
Well, I have to give credit where credit's due, as I say. Brandon McNeil, which was one of, I guess, the other Post Oak Savannah family member, who's kind of our photographer, he stepped up. And Beatrice Ardella, I believe is her last name. Everyone knows her as photographer B. Beatrice, and B. Yeah. Phenomenal artist. We hired her to do the graphic arts and photography.
She's wonderful.
She is very talented and very sweet and very patient. And she needed patience.
So how long did it take after receiving the actual, the bits and pieces that Kent left behind, how long did it take to piece it all together?
Man, it's been it seemed like 2 months nonstop. I went down to the studio and had Gary Cheatwood come in and do guitar on the last song that Kent hadn't completed. We mixed it and mastered it, and then started on the artwork, which involved one day doing photography, and then just taking an idea that Kent had and going with it. And the title of the CD is called The Goat and Kent Gooding, and there's some symbolism there. It's just not some zoo animal that he thought would be funny. There's a reason behind it. And so anyways, you can imagine trying to take a goat and put it in the field with a girl in a white dress, which he wanted as the second subject matter, and doing that. Yeah. So we did that, and then we did, the liner notes and the inside. We hired a guy named Nathan Porterfield to do the inside drawings, illustrations, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, Nathan's a good friend of mine.
We got to talk to another guy that had a lot to do with Randy Simmons. Put in a lot of time.
Randy Simmons
Siesta
did,
Ranch,
and he was very gracious with the work he did afterwards, and he did a lot of it pro bono. He's just out of love for Kent.
Right.
Kent lived next door to him, so he was like a son to him.
Yeah. Well, Kent was a good friend to everybody. We're proud to have him inducted as the Texas Silver Star Whiskey Artist for this week. Did you guys have a song that we'd love to hear one of Kent's songs, or something that you could share with us?
Well, Kent was a very special person. He was very talented, yes, but he was special all the way around. But as far as his music goes, he has a lot of songs, and so we'll try to do this one justice. It's the track 1 on his CD. It's called Shifting of the Blame. Feel the evening closing. You can
calculated distance. It's too much wasted time. You can always read it between the lines as they were written. Caroline, are you lonely? Did it take a while to fray? Did you try to see the distance? Just turn your head away. Well, I've known the changing, yeah, I've known them just the same. And I've known the shifting of the blame. Sometimes the storm will arrive and blow the air sweet on away. Bring down the shifting of the rain. 3 months since I made a call, tell you I've been doing well. It's better as far as I can tell. How's the traffic in the city? Looking back on a short time of clarity, with a little house and a yard. Feel the warmth of the kitchen, walking through the front door. This book is running out of pages, the binding's a little worn. Perception of the characters, yeah, they're starting to bend. Caroline, are you lonely? Did it take a while to fray? Try to see the distance, or just turn your head away. I've known the changing, well, and I've known them just the same. I've known the shifting of the blame. Sometimes the storm will arrive and blow the air sweet on away. Bring down the shifting of the blame. Bring down the shifting of the listen out to a dial tone, but I never know what to say.
That's a really, really, really touching song. You know,
Yeah.
it kind of it sums up it sums up a lot of things with Kent and music, and I don't know what it is, but it seems like he left that behind for all of us.
Yeah, his legacy will live on. It'll live on through what we do with it, and through his daughter.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, she's already showing signs of some artistic ability.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's going to play some
I don't
guitar?
know. Kent once told me that he thought she could play harmonica better than Bob Dylan, which is not saying a whole lot. Bob Dylan can write, but sometimes his harp playing was elementary, but she can keep rhythm and she draws all the time. She's something.
That's great. That's great. It's good. It's good to know that his legacy will live on through his daughter as well as all of us. Now, the album that is coming out, it's scheduled for release this Saturday at Buffalo Joe's.
Yes, sir.
Now, we're excited about that. Of course, the crew from Paris Live Open Mic will be out there, and all of Kent's friends. Hopefully, we'll have as good of a turnout as we did for the benefit, and there'll be thousands of people there to celebrate this album. How many songs are on it?
Man, I think there's 13.
13 songs?
Yeah, and all but 2 of them Kent wrote. He's got 2 pretty tasteful covers on there, Hank Williams song and a Graham Parsons song. And the rest of them he wrote. And it's quite a journey because this thing was recorded over a period of, I think, like 4 years. He would go in a little bit, then he would, he had other things in life that was going on. Anyways, it's pretty eclectic. You will tell that some of it that he wrote in the beginning kind of had a psychedelic flair to it, kind of like some of the stuff Post Oak was doing.
Yeah.
And then there towards the end, a lot of it's more acoustic based. So I think there's a little bit something for everyone.
Yeah. I really, really dig the slide and a lot of the stuff that he did with
and then that's just him. I mean, he could do it all.
Yeah. Anything with strings. Anything. Yeah. I mean, keys, he was on it.
I used to get so mad at him because, and I know he practiced all the time and worked his butt off, but it almost felt like it just oozed out of him so easily. I would be over there just trying to catch up with him. It made me so mad because it seemed like it come out of him so easy. And that's the thing, when I get to thinking about sometimes, I'm never, when I start thinking this way, I'll never hear Kent do this again or do that again. Yeah. I felt like, at least within Post Oak, I felt like Kent and I kind of had a little bit of a special bond.
Yeah.
We were both guitar players and we were doing a lot of twin lead type of stuff. And I felt like we were kind of connected there. When I get to thinking that way of, man, I'll never hear Kent do this again, or I'll never be able to play that with Kent again. The good thing is that he left us a lot of stuff. I mean, in addition to the CD, there's a lot of recordings out there of Kent that sit down and listen to, and I can hear it all again. We
have a lot of stuff that was done years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We have some stuff in some various studios. If I remember correctly, I believe Chris Lancaster even has a couple songs. And then our good friend Gary Cheapwood said every time that Kent would go to his house, they'd hit the record button.
Yeah.
So what we're going to try to do is through our little record label we started, Foreign to Market Records. And we're just going to try to keep it alive, man. We're going to, after this, we're immediately going to go to work on a website and just get it on iTunes, etc. And let the magic of social networking work wonders, I hope. And YouTube.
Yeah.
Where to go to YouTube channel.
Well, you've got Paris Live Open Mic. Anytime you need us, we'll do whatever we can to help get the word out and do whatever we can in our power to help boost up the record label. And of course, this album, we'll be spinning a lot of it. Now, one thing you were talking about a minute ago, Jason, is the way that Kent would kind of bounce back and forth with the leads. I noticed that in a circle of musicians, Kent would always bring himself down to the level of the lowest player.
Very, very humble.
You know what I mean? Like he would never try to outshine.
It's not like Dyess was that bad.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
I mean, he was very good. In fact, one time, Dyess didn't like me to tell you this, but one time when we were really at our best, we weren't the best in the world, but we were best what we did. Coming out of Novice, Texas.
Yeah.
Dyess was really, rocking, and Kent said, I think he's supposed to pass me or something like that. but he was always humble. It didn't matter what crowd. He never, and he could have. I hate to be biased, but I believe with all my heart he's the most talented person I've ever had the privilege of being around.
I agree.
But he never showed it, and that's what was so beautiful about him.
Yeah.
And I think, too, I learned the most musically that I learned throughout my entire 32 years. I learned the most musically during the 4 years that I played with Kent.
Just hanging out with Kent, yeah. And there's tons more stories, out there of Kent and his passing on that feeling of music. And now the schedule for July 27th, again, this at Buffalo Joe's this Saturday. So we've got from 3:00 until, what does it say there, 9?
Yeah,
3 to 9.
From about 9 to 10, I think they make you shut it down at 10 as far as the outside. But,
right.
We've got about 6 bands, I believe.
Really? So I see we've got Pearl Street Riot.
We've got Zach Jones Band. We've got a Dragon Man Band. We've got Cass, who's going to close it out as far as the outside. And we got $1 Billion Blues.
All right. Michael
O'Neill.
O'Neill.
Cut hand there is something we've got together with Kevin Hudgens from our Post Oak days.
Okay.
And Dyess and I and Gary Cheatwood. And then we recruited Ben also to play bass with us.
We just met up with him a minute ago.
Yeah, man, he's far out. So we're going to see if we can cause some damage up here with the rest of these guys. and then afterwards, it's just going to be O'Neill, Shad, and Travis doing opening up the acoustic set.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to jam and celebrate inside with our acoustic instruments.
That's nice. We're excited about it. I'll be there for sure, covering the event with InParisTexas.com. And again, guys, we're happy to have you in the studio to accept the award for Kent Gooding for the Texas Silver Star Whiskey Spotlight Artist. Before we go, real quick, did you have anything else that you'd like to play for us?
Yeah. Here's a song that Kent wrote several years ago, and we did it, I guess, in a little more rockier fashion. But this is a stripped down version. A song he wrote called Bourbon Hall, and we'll see if we can do this one justice. Cheyenne, you're the closest thing to
There's too many mirrors on the wall. In my memories they're still burning, on the way to Bourbon Hall. Once I tried to be your lover, and once I tried to be your man. Now the walls that are surrounding reek of smoke and whiskey today. It's another teardrop on the pillow. It's one more autumn to live in sin. I feel this time I stressed a little too far. Right now I just wanna be shining again. These days are colder and past as fast as better I sing. Not everyone is just so inclined to improve on what's on shelf. Some will find if they put it behind some way to forget themselves. You can be alone and drown what's left. Now these days seem to run together. Every silence in this house is loud. So don't you ever take one step back, and don't you ever burn out now. Ryan, you're the closest thing to cocaine. There's too much distance in your eyes, and too many lines and bottles of amber. Too many nights in Bourbon Hall. Too many nights in Bourbon Hall.
Yes, and that's perfect for the Texas Silver Star Whiskey
Yeah,
Spotlight
right.
Artist. I see why you picked that one now. That's a good one. And again, guys, Jason Dyess, Russell Wilson, I appreciate you guys coming in on behalf of Kent Gooding to
Hang on,
accept
Lee.
this
It's an
award.
honor.
And we're looking forward again, Buffalo Joe's, this Saturday night, kicking off at 3 o'clock outside, moving on to the inside. We've got music all day long, and you have the opportunity to purchase one of the albums. Can we say how much are the albums?
I believe right now we're looking at 10.
$10, that's cheap.
T-shirts, 15, which are pretty awesome. And then, I guess together, Jamie doesn't kill me.
T-shirt shop, T-shirts?
T-shirt shops, yeah.
Is it new design?
New design, yeah.
I'm
New
excited
design.
about it.
It's something similar to the CD album.
I'll
But I
be-
believe both of them you can get for $20. Let me just say this last thing, that all proceeds are going towards the family.
Okay.
So Jamie and Indy are getting the bread.
That's great, definitely. Again, thank you guys so much. We'll be back right after this.